welcome to another video. So, today I will be doing an Overwatch tier list. Now, this is not a tier list of like, oh, is the hero good? Oh, is the hero bad? It is instead a tier list that is based on all the following things. How fun is the hero to play? So, like, if I'm playing the hero, am I having fun? Do I feel like I have impact? Stuff like that. How fun is the hero to fight? So, like, am I going to have fun, shooting this hero, trying to hit this hero, trying to understand what this hero is doing, stuff like that. How balanced the hero generally is, and I'll talk about that generally in a second. How I feel having this hero on my team. Like, do I like this hero on my team? Am I freaking annoyed that this hero's on my team? Whatever have you. And, finally, what I mean by generally is, like, regardless of what happened to the hero, unless there was a fundamental redesign, would my opinion change? Like, for instance, it wouldn't matter if Sombra was, like, ultra broken or completely freaking useless. Her hack is still annoying no matter what you do. Like, it wouldn't matter how you change Sombra. The hack is always going to be annoying. It just doesn't matter. And finally, I would also like to... Yeah, that's a good color for F. Alright. So, starting off with Bastion. Bastion's had a couple interesting changes throughout Overwatch. In terms of playing him, it's kind of fun, gotta be honest. In terms of fighting him, there's not much to it, you know? You bait out his shift, and then you shoot him till he dies. Like, it's kind of like... It's kind of like hitting a tank, if tank was not that hard to kill. So, I don't really want to put him in D, because he's still fun to play. And also, he's usually pretty balanced. He's usually not too bad. He's not great, but he's not too bad. I think I'll put him in C. Put him in C for now. Cassidy. Cassidy has a lot of issues. His grenade, it doesn't matter what you do to it. It's a grenade. Like, it would need a fundamental overhaul. His roll, I like rolls. I like simple movement abilities that can have interesting things done with them. I would say he's an A, generally. Cassidy is generally in this spot where fighting a Cassidy is pretty fun. Playing Cassidy is pretty fun. Having Cassidy on my team doesn't guarantee me a loss unless he's stupid. And he's usually pretty balanced. I've played a lot of seasons. I haven't played like a crap load of Overwatch. I think I've played just under 100 hours. And he's pretty fun. He's generally pretty good. D.Va. D for D.Va. I don't like... This character's freaking boring. It's so funny that the character who's like the epic pro gamer is one of the most boring and easy tanks to play in the entire freaking game. Like, this character's so boring. I'm sorry. She's so boring. She's like... Half the time, you don't feel like you have any impact unless you're holding up defense matrix all the time. Her bomb is always freaking annoying. I feel like if you nerfed it, it would be passable. She just feels annoying. 90% of D.Va gameplay is just hold defense matrix on whatever you need to hold defense matrix on, and then very slowly charge up your ult, use your ult, and then do the whole cycle over again. It just feels like trash. I just don't like it. Genji. Genji's in a weird spot. Genji's kind of like Venture, if Venture didn't feel like crap. I'll get to Venture in a minute. I have some words to say about Venture. But we'll get to Venture in a second. Genji, I feel like Venture feels like what Genji should have been, Genji's good. Good Genjis are scary, but they're also kind of annoying, Their movement never really feels like it's tied to anything. Like, their movement always just generally feels like the Genji just presses a button and he does something, He just presses buttons and things happen. It never feels like a character where, like, you do anything. Like, playing Genji can be fun, but shooting a Genji is like, It's generally kind of annoying. He's small, he's slick, and... Also, his gun, I'm sorry, but his gun is annoying. His gun is so freaking annoying. And the deflect, it's more stimulating than a D.Va, I'm gonna be honest. Hanzo. Hanzo is cool. I like Hanzo. I have a friend who plays Hanzo. He's just cool. Like, there's not a lot I could complain about Hanzo. I would argue he's better than Cass, so I'm going to put him higher A. But he's cool. He's chill. I like him. Junkrat. Junkrat is either, like, high D tier, like D tier gatekeeper, or frickin' bottom of the barrel C tier. Because, like, here's the thing about Junkrat. Okay? Junkrat is one of those characters that is, like... Junkrat has two modes, okay? Junkrat has two modes. Mode number 1. You look at a choke point. You press M1 into that choke point. Something dies. Mode number 2. You get up close to things, you actually use your brain, and you're very carefully using all your abilities to actually get value. Problem is, number 1 and number 2, the only difference is that number 2 is harder. You can usually get just as much value by looking at a choke point and pressing M1. You press M1, and it's that's all you do. Because your grenades bounce, you reload so fast, you have 5 freaking shots in your magazine for some reason, and he's just boring. That and his trap's freaking annoying. Honestly, actually, I think he goes, like, ID tier, just because his trap's annoying. If he had something other than trap and it wasn't freaking annoying, he would be, like, somewhere mid to bottom of the barrel C tier. Lucio. Lucio belongs here. We all know Lucio belongs here. Anyone who argues with me, you can argue with me if you want. Lucio belongs in S tier. He's hard to use. Playing Lucio well is ridiculously fun. If you know how to play Lucio well, it's insane. Playing Lucio well is like Titanfall on freaking ketamine. It's insane. Fighting a Lucio is satisfying because hitting a Lucio is ridiculously tough. But it's also understandable because Lucio's movement is tied to walls. Lucio's movement is exclusively tied to walls. Without walls, Lucio isn't as good. So you can very carefully think about where Lucio might go based on the map geometry. And that is why I like Lucio over characters like Genji and Mercy. Mei. She goes here. She's even the same freaking color. Her story is relatively interesting. Her lines are kind of fun. The voice acting is really good. So, like, if we're talking, like, exclusively story and character personality, she's, like, somewhere along this line. But since we're talking about, like, gameplay and fun and those things, she goes freaking here because she's a piece of crap and I freaking hate her. She is one of the only characters in the entire game that is a liability to have on your team. Even a good Mei, even a really good Mei that knows what she's freaking doing is probably still gonna have the problem of, oops, I accidentally walled off an important thing. And, like, here's the thing. I'm not against non-tank characters having tank-like shields, okay? Like, I'm fine with Brigitte. Brigitte's relatively fine. Symmetra's shield, it's a little annoying. But I'm fine with Symmetra's shield. But yeah, Mei... I freaking hate Mei. I hate Mei so much. She's just freaking annoying. I might actually make a tier lower than this for Mei. Mercy. Mercy's just freaking boring, dude. Well, having a Mercy on my team can be nice. Like, Joe Schmo Pub Mercy is usually pretty good at their job. But my main thing with Mercy is, like Genji, she suffers from this problem where her movement isn't really tied to anything but abilities. Which means a Mercy can just kind of, like, use weirdo text and rando crap to go wherever the frick she wants. It's just annoying. Like, hitting a Mercy is just annoying, you know? Pharah. Pharah's kind of the reason why one of the reasons why Mercy's annoying, ironically. She's not even that fun to play. Like, 9 times out of 10, Pharah gameplay is just, like, glue yourself to the stratosphere and press M1. But it's at least kind of fun. It's not fun to fight her, though. I feel like Pharah and Mercy are in the same boat. It's just that, like, they're not really... They don't give you much value. Especially now. They don't give you much value. They don't do much. They're really just freaking annoying. Reaper. Reaper's obnoxious. One thing is that, like, you have to actually be slightly decent as Reaper to actually be effective. But he's not as good as, like, Venture or Genji, where you have to really think to get value. I want to put him in B, but putting him next to Genji feels wrong. You know what? I'll move Genji to bottom of the barrel A tier, just so that I don't have to see them next to each other. Reinhardt, live with honor, die with glory. I love this man. He's great. Reinhardt is fun. Reinhardt is balanced. Reinhardt is cool. I don't care that you don't freaking get value out of Reinhardt, especially recently. I don't freaking care. You can say, oh, Reinhardt's D tier, Reinhardt's F tier, he's so bad. No. Reinhardt is S tier. Reinhardt is S tier in my heart. This man is great. He's hilarious. Roadhog. Okay, listen. Hear me out. I love playing Roadhog. I really do. It's so fun to just, like, throw down a trap, carefully plan a hook, and, like, frickin' nab some overconfident Kiriko out of the sky. It's so much fun. Alternatively, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Like, if I can do it with relative consistency, you know it's not that hard. I feel like he goes here. There's a lot of things that shut down Hog, too. Zen Orb is freaking nasty. Orisa completely shuts down Hog. Ana completely shuts down Hog. The main reason Hog is fine is because, like, it doesn't matter what role you're playing. You can, like, if there's a Hog harassing you, you can just, like, swap to a character, harass the Hog until he swaps off, or just, like, there's something you can do against a Hog, you know? There's something you can do against him. Soldier, I feel that there is beauty in simplicity, you know? Like, not every character has to be the hyperactive dude with 8,000 mechanics, and you have to, like, frickin' go ham on your keyboard in order to get any value character. Like, there's not much I can really say against, Soldier. I feel bottom of the barrel A tier is a good place to put him. Symmetra. Symmetra's freaking obnoxious. Like, the slowdown on her turrets is annoying. I don't see why that needs to be a thing. You could argue that, like, oh, it's to counter freaking Tracer, it's to counter Venture, it's to counter Ball. Like, I don't freaking care, it's annoying. She's bored. Like, having a sim on my team is nice, but it's usually like, oh, I have a DPS on my team. Great. Like, she's not effective, she's not cool, she's not fun, she's just there. Torbjorn. Torbjorn is interesting. Torbjorn is a silly fellow. There's a lot of, like, management about Torb, you know? You gotta keep on his magazine a little bit. You gotta keep on his, overload, whatever that ability's called, cooldown. You gotta keep on his turret a little bit. There's some things to keep in mind with Torb. I feel like bottom of the barrel A tier or, like, B Gatekeeper is really where I should put him, you know? Frickin'. I think B Gatekeeper's a good place to be. He at least takes a little skill. I would say a hair more than Soldier. Not much more than Soldier, but a hair more than Soldier. Tracer. Tracer's freaking annoying. Fighting Tracer's not fun. It at least takes more skill than Junkrat, though. Yeah, she's just annoying. Widowmaker. F tier. Hate this moron. One-shots are always annoying. You can tell me, oh, it's balanced because it takes skill, guys. Guys, it's balanced because it... No. No. I do not care. This moron is freaking annoying and I hate her. We're done. We're done. I feel like Winston is in a similar boat to Genji. They're hard to play. They're just fundamentally weird. They're kind of annoying. There's a couple things you can actually do against them, but it's not much. I feel like these are just kind of two very similar characters that are just kind of annoying. Zarya. I don't like Zarya. I don't like Zarya at all, really. Zarya's just annoying. Zarya's just sit there and hit your shield. Well, there is some amount of things you could do with Zarya. You can bubble allies. The primary and alt fire are distinct and interesting. Zarya is a good tank. That being said, I still do not like Zarya. Killing a Zarya is really just wear down her resources till she frickin' falls over. Zen. Zen is fun. Zen is interesting, but he's kind of frickin' boring. I like the dynamic of having to manage the orbs. I just wish it was done better, you know? I want to put him here, but seeing Zen next to Mercy just rubs me the wrong way for some reason. I'd say mid C tier. No, seeing him below Pharah and Mercy I don't like that. Ana. I like Ana. That being said, she's annoying, but like there's some amount of cognitive function that goes into playing Ana. Like there's a lot of positioning, there's a lot of aim, there's a lot of cooldown management, there's a lot of like doing different things that goes into Ana. Orisa. It's not that hard to play Orisa. Like, at the end of the day, any frickin' moron can, like, hit shift, and then E, and then spear, and then shift, and then E, and then spear, and then shift, and then E, and then spear to annoy someone, and then shift, and then E, and then like, realistically, any monkey can do that. These two are basically on the same plane. It's just that, like, Orisa, you at least have something to hit, you know? Orisa, you can at least fire bullets and have them hit something reliably. Doomfist. Doomfist is rough to play. He's interesting to fight, but he's a little annoying. He's a little annoying. Like, the stun's a little annoying. I would say he's, like, high A tier. He's not quite S tier, but man, is he close. Moira. Feel like we all knew she was going to go there. Brigitte. I feel like this is a good spot for Brigitte. There are some interesting things you can do with Brigitte. There's some, like, cognitive function that goes into playing Brigitte. Playing Brigitte is tough. But it can be tough, But at the end of the day, it's kind of fun. Having a Brigitte on my team is nice because you know they're healing. You know they're doing something. You know they're using their brain. I feel like this is a good spot. Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball's kind of annoying. He's interesting. He's cool. But, like, he freaking weaves in and out of your sightline and just doesn't do anything. Like, he just contests point all the time. I'd say Ball's here. He's only sometimes annoying. Ashe. Ashe is fun. Ashe is kind of like S tier. I'd argue Ashe is S tier. Ashe is pretty based. Baptiste can be annoying. He can be fun. He can be interesting. But realistically, like, what do you do against a Baptiste? You know, you just kind of shoot him. You just shoot him. You know, there's not much. It's not much you do. There's a lot of cool things you can think about when using Baptiste, and I would say for that he is like higher than Cassidy, definitely. Sigma. Sigma's an interesting character. I would argue Sigma's one of the more fun tanks to fight. Like, if you said, hey, what tank do you want to fight? Sigma would definitely be one of my higher choices. He's fun. Playing Sigma is, like, it can be fun, but it can also just be, like, just freaking poke him. Just poke him with your balls. He's cool, and I like him. He's not that annoying to fight, too. I think he goes in S tier. I have to put someone in S tier, you know? Echo! I don't like Echo. I don't like most flying characters. Flying characters just feel annoying to fight. And I feel like any monkey can, like, right-click, left-click, like, once or twice, and then E to finish, you know? Pharah, Echo, and Mercy have the same, like, curse of the flying character. Sojourn. The problem Sojourn has is it doesn't matter what you do to her stats, there's always going to be something fundamentally wrong with her kit. If you were to make it to where you had to charge up Sojourn's railgun like you have to charge up Winston's railgun, and remove the headshot multiplier, playing and fighting Sojourn wouldn't be that bad. Well, she goes down here. She's annoying, and she's probably going to be annoying for the foreseeable future. My queen. Joker Queen. Joker Queen is fun. Joker Queen is mega epic. Like I said, Joker Queen was the start of a long line, well, a short line, I suppose, of well-designed characters. This character's fun, this character's dynamic, this character's interesting, this character's intricate, and I like Junker Queen. I want to put Kiriko high. I really do. I want to put Kiriko, like, right up here somewhere, but I just can't. And that is exclusively because, as it stands now, Suzu is too strong. So, like, if negative effects were buffed and cleanses were more prevalent, Kiriko would be somewhere along these lines. But that's not the case right now, so I have to put her a little bit lower. Ramatra. I like Ramatra. Ramatra is usually kind of balanced, but I'm sorry, he's just not that fun. I'm gonna be honest, Ramatra feels like Orisa if Orisa wasn't freaking boring. I'll put Ramatra and Zenyatta together. Because, like, this guy's fun to play. He's not fun to fight. This guy's fun to fight. He's not fun to play. Lifeweaver. I want to put Lifeweaver in S, but something just feels wrong putting Lifeweaver in S. No, I'm putting him in S. I don't freaking care. He goes here. You know, come to think of it, something just feels wrong about putting Ashe there. Yeah, no, I think Ashe goes down here, actually. Ashe goes down here. Illari, frickin' my balls, I don't care. Illari's interesting, The gun's kind of cool. I've always kind of liked the, like, you can shoot fast, but if you wait between your shots, they're, like, better in some way. Her healing beam just feels kind of dumb. Her pylon's interesting. I like her pylon. There's some cool things you can do with it. Uh, Putting her above Kiriko feels wrong, though. I'll put her here. She goes here. She's cool. Mauga. On paper, Mauga is cool. In practice, Mauga is like bottom of the barrel C tier. He's annoying. I don't like him. Playing him's kind of fun though. Playing Mauga and Roadhog are in the same boat. Where like playing them can be pretty fun depending on how you do it. Depending on what you do, it can be a little interesting. But they're just kind of freaking annoying. Now, we get to my beloved. The best character in the entire game. The best, most well-rounded, most balanced, most fun character in the entire game. Venture. Actually, no, hold on. That just doesn't feel right. Venture. My beloved. And finally, that being said, we have Sombra. Now, finally, I get to have my Sombra rant. I do not freaking care what you do with this character. Negating my ability to play a hero shooter is never going to be fun. I install a hero shooter because I want to press the E button and watch funny hee particles show up on my screen. Okay? I installed Overwatch so that I could play Rhine and pin and like freaking smash someone's nuts against a concrete brick. Okay? That is why I installed Overwatch. I installed Overwatch so that I could throw a freaking like rose on the ground and have it shoot me into the stratosphere. I installed Overwatch so that I could inject Mountain Dew Baja Blast into someone's bloodstream to keep them alive, okay? That's why I installed Overwatch. I did not install Overwatch to be restricted exclusively to my primary fire, okay? That's not why I installed Overwatch. If I wanted to restrict myself exclusively to my primary fire, I'd frickin' play Widowmaker, okay? Like, put myself exclusively to the primary fire, I'd go play CSGO, okay? If I want to play a hero shooter because I want to press the button and go, hee, look, I'm killing people now, I'm killing things, I'm going with my gun, okay? Sombra prevents me from doing that, okay? She completely prevents me from doing that, and it is freaking annoying. Sombra could be nerfed so far into the ground that she wound up in freaking China, and I would still not be happy. Literally, the only way a nerf would fix this character is if she was nerfed so bad that you literally could not play her. Anyways, that was my tier list. I did it because I wanted to speak my opinion. Not that any of you care. Also, yes, I know that tier lists are a relatively low-quality form of content. That being said, I do not care. Goodbye.